whoever's listening to this tape, weirdly hidden in some children's toy. Hell, you should probably consider yourself lucky. I mean, really? Maybe you found some critical information about past events. Maybe that will make you take this tape to the police, maybe. Maybe your nearest police department? Unfortunately, that's not going to do much. Currently, while I'm recording this, it is August 20th, 1993. And by the time you'll be hearing this, I'm dead. Just straightforward, I'm dead. But just before I hang myself, I'm here to confess. Let's talk about my history. I was born in 1944 in a small town near Dallas. I never had a chance to meet my mother. She died a couple days after I was born, so all I had was my father, but don't even get me started on my father. I honestly think he's worse than me, to be honest with you. I'm going to elaborate on that later. My aunt was mainly taking care of me. Unfortunately, she wasn't the perfect person I thought she would be. She liked to drink a lot and taught me a lot of bad manners. But besides all that, she showed me a lot of respect. On the other hand, I had an abusive father. He drank about every day. He was completely ignoring me. But every time when I cried with my bread because of fear, wanted something to eat, and showed some disobedience towards him, he just beat me. He was beating me with a shoe, belt, cable, rag, even the fucking iron! I had bruises all over my body. I couldn't do anything. When I was about 9, my father and my uncle went into my bedroom where I was preparing for school. It all started innocently, but after that day, I hated him more than ever. Since we're on the topic, school was a pretty bad experience for me. Since my father was drinking away our money, I had to wear old and dirty clothes, and I couldn't afford most of the school items. Paying bills was also a big problem for my father. So you can only imagine how bad I smelled and looked, because of no water, no food, no love. Because of this, everyone started to bully me because of it. Every single day, when I was walking to school, I was always thinking about what the bullies will come up with. They would come up ways to humiliate me in front of the whole school. After that experience, I couldn't really count on support from my family. Throughout many years in primary school, I've developed hate towards people, especially children. Well, look at someone. I can only imagine how horrific and gruesome things I could do to that person. I've managed to apply and complete Halal School of Engineering in 1966, since I've always been interested in making small machines and little robots and the sorts. Then, that's where I met my wife. Damn, she was so beautiful. We got married the same year as we finished engineering school. Very soon, in 1967, our biggest happiness came to this cruel world. We named him Michael. Surely he was my best friend. Maybe I was treating him not properly sometimes, but it was all because of scars left in my heart because of my goddamn father. And then in 1972, our second baby appeared. We named her Elizabeth. She was as beautiful as her mother. And then in 1973, I went into the Vietnam War, but it didn't really last long. I was gone for 8 months. I was witnessing the true face of death. Then, I realized that death gives me entertainment. That death gives me entertainment. Seeing someone crying for life, suffering with their guts gouged out by F4 Phantoms 20 millimeters, that gave me a true satisfactory. That gave me a true satisfactory feeling. The war was over. I managed to come back the same year. After that, I've been doing really good with my family. Another baby appeared and named him Norman in 1977. I guess you could say we were one big happy family. Unlike my father, I have earned a lot of money to start a little business. But later would I know that this small business would be a devilish creation. As I hated other children than Michael and Elizabeth, I've decided to run a horrifying set of restaurants. Mainly because I wanted to scare those brats away. But as my skills got more and more advanced, and as I discovered a gap in recompensation law I could exploit endlessly, I've invented the scooper. Unfortunately, I had no idea where to put it without any suspicion, so I've built Circus Baby. Very childlike, friendly looking animatronic. My first natural animatronic. She can sing, dance, dispense ice cream, fill balloons right at her fingertips. But more importantly, she could quickly scoop the child inside the greatly disguised mincer. Fast and efficiently, without a trace, silently. The chamber was soundproof. She could perform just normal while she was crushing corpses to little bitty pieces. Metal rods were making the children suffer before they stabbed into their chest, making their hearts stop pumping. I am certain of what I'm saying here, because it was tested with animals. I didn't test it with cats, though. I love cats. Dogs, though. Those are another thing that I hate. In 1975, I launched a new company, Afton Robotics. And at the same time, I opened up a new restaurant, Circus Baby's Pizza World, as well as Circus Baby's rental service. Pizza World was just for cover and also worked as a lure for children. Rental service, however, was my main tool to operate. Baby did it countless times during private birthdays, summed up to about 18. Godly, we are not responsible for any injuries occurred due to inappropriate behaviors and actions over Afton Robotics devices. Words every fucking time. Yes, that is the gap in the law. Every parent had lost trying to pull money out of my lawn in court. Instead, I was getting corporate compensation every time they sued me and failed. Later, I built Funtime Freddy, Foxy, Bellora, and others. I've upgraded their endoskeletons and branded them as ASLE version 0.1. Stands for Advanced Standardized Locking Endoskeleton 0. Bellora and Foxy worked as lures in restaurants, so Freddy could do his job. 259. quite a magical number if you think about it, isn't it? Sums up to about heavenly 277. But I needed more money. Since the Bellwood child abduction incident was a thing, I had to make a small sacrifice. Elizabeth was 278. In 1979, ice creams did their job well. Of course, I couldn't sue my own company. But suing the cleaning company of my restaurant worked just fine. They ran out of business, and about a day later, news broke out that the owner hung himself. I took it lightly. But my wife, good Lord, she died not aware of the truth behind Elizabeth's death. Yeah, she died. Her heart literally broke after her death. It stopped beating. Just like that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Where was I? In 1980, I stopped Circus Entertainment Complex, and then I put the animatronics in the storage facility. I asked a friend of mine if he could look after them, just in case. I knew there was something not right about them. Just like unnatural feelings. New restaurant, new animatronics, new name. Fazbear's Family Diner. I wanted to ease up a bit with children because of the rumors. I started development of my new ASLE systems. First was the ASLE version 1 Advanced Spring-Lock Endoskeleton 1v1. It was meant to be a wearable costume and an animatronic character at the same time. But there was one thing I didn't notice with that. The spring lock failures. Because of these malfunctions, these endoskeletons were considered dangerous, causing the worker's death. ASLE 1 version 2 had better leveling suspension for metal parts, but it failed. Version 3 was the final type of the endoskeleton. Finally, it was kind of safe there. It was working like that until 1983. During the final days of Fazbear's Family Diner, I've met Henry Emily. He helped me construct 4 more ASLE endoskeletons for my new Fazbear and Friends project. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. They were supposed to work on spring locks as well. But a third accident occurred while testing a Fazbear suit. So we made a new ASLE 2v4, which stands for Advanced Suspended Leveling Endoskeleton 2 version 4. Since the production costs were massive, I had to sacrifice something again. Michael fucked this up a bit by warning Norman not to enter the pizzeria during his birthday. By the way, his methods were inconvenient. I liked how he was scaring him with that spare Foxy mask he had at Fazbear's. But I knew his true intention, to protect him. After a little talk, he did it. Of course, I've used that exploit. Henry's hated brother had a small company called Fazbear Entertainment. Since Henry was smart, he convinced him to join us. In court, he explained that this animatronic was made by Fazbear Entertainment. The jury ordered him to pay us $5 million, but unfortunately, he asked us to close Fredbear's, since it occurred at this location. My reactivation project of Circus Entertainment. Michael. I asked him to go into that facility where I'm holding the front ends. My friend, unfortunately, had a heart attack while encountering one. Michael went there. In a few days, I got a letter. The letter said that Michael was found dead in a public bathroom. I still can't get over that. That day, I lost my mind. I'd fallen into depression. The only thing that kept me going was someone else's pain and suffering. I missed that feeling since Vietnam. Then, I thought, since the animatronics were long gone, maybe it was time to handle things myself. That time, I didn't care for the money. The only thing I cared about was continuous children's suffering. Unfortunately, I had an argument with Henry. He was implying that I had made an awful decision about rebranding Fredbear's to Freddy Fazbear's. He hurt my feelings, of course, but he didn't really say anything offensive. Later that night, after Henry went home, I thought of a devilish idea. Charlie, Henry's daughter, was just having a birthday in the next 3 days. I wanted to do something bad to her. And I did. During her birthday, I noticed that she was locked out of the building by bullies. And I silently, without a trace, killed her. I was wearing gloves, a clean security uniform, and luckily, no witnesses. It was perfect. The tool, it was a kitchen knife, and a clean stab down to the abdomen. Henry left without any word. After that day, I've never seen him again. Finally, I had the company fully on my own. I wanted more. I really enjoyed that. The corrupted law was still with me, so I was safe. 2 weeks later, I did it again. A birthday party. I was acting as a security guard, wearing a purple uniform, as the others. No suspicion yet. Everyone was having fun, playing games, eating pizza. During a break, I saw a little girl playing an arcade game. But I noticed that she was crying because her dog was missing. Of course, I couldn't approach her like a casual security guard. But I thought to myself, maybe I can cheer her up by dressing up as one of the characters. There was one, a still operative suit. And just like that, I managed to lure her into the storage room where her dog was. Instead of a dog, it was a kitchen knife. And I stabbed her in her chest. She was bubbling, growling, trying to take a breath, vomiting blood for straight 5 minutes. And then she passed away. But during her suffering, I stuffed her into Chica. I was lucky, because she was the only animatronic to be in the parts of the service room due to malfunctions that have already been fixed, silently and efficient. I don't really remember the circumstances of the other children's deaths. I remember there was a boy that I suffocated with a wet towel. He was too big to fit inside Bonnie. My solution? I cut him up into many pieces. And then it turns out that kid inside Bonnie, that was the brother of the little girl. How sad. Next was this arrogant bully. His awful personality perfectly fitted Foxy's pirate-like behavior. Last two were boys who got food poisoning. I knew there was something up with those pizzas. But while these boys were puking in the bathrooms, I took advantage. The last one was a 6-year-old cute girl who was always so nice to me. I kind of regret killing her, to be honest with you. I really do. Every time when me and her run into each other, she would say, "Good morning," or "You look good, sir. Have a nice day." There was a whole lot of kind words from her. I don't know where my mind was when I killed her. I really shouldn't have killed her. I shouldn't have killed her. Not just because I felt bad, but it was mainly because there was no animatronics nearby. Luckily, there was trash bags in the room. So, that's it. It was me. I killed them. Okay? I killed all those innocent people. But before I go, I just wanted to provide myself with a peaceful death. I know that there's something wrong with those characters when I visited the now abandoned restaurant with the Fazbear Entertainment. I feel like those kids are still there, watching me. And I feel like in order to set them free, God help me. Because I feel like something may go wrong. Thanks for listening to this tape.